today we're doing, IndicaTV Raw and Uncut, and we're finally back, y'all. I know y'all been waiting. It's been a whole year. So how do y'all feel about, say, technology?
Technology?
The younger generation. And
these kids want to play. These kids want to go and do something. You don't want to do that with them. You just give them an iPad and have them do their own thing.
Next topic is we're gonna talk about college. So
I feel like they pressure you to go to school, one. Not only do they pressure you to go to school, they pressure you to finish 4 years. Like I was glad that I left, but at the same time I did face challenges where I was like, oh my god, I don't know how people do this.
College is not 4 years. Don't let nobody fool you.
Right.
College is not 4 years. Depending on what degree you want, it's not 4 years.
But the last and final topic for tonight is gonna be on drugs in our society.
It's hard hearing that kids our age is legit dying because shit is getting laced like that.
Right.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, y'all. And today we're back with another video. Woo! Alright, y'all. Today we're doing, IndicaTV Raw and Uncut, and we're finally back, y'all. I know y'all been waiting. It's been a whole year. We're returning for the fall, y'all. And today we got some new guests, as you guys can see. And yeah, so everybody introduce yourselves.
I'm Cadence.
I'm Christian.
I'm Jax.
And of course, y'all know I am Indica. So y'all, so today the topic is gonna be society norms, and basically we're gonna be doing a little open debate or whatever, and y'all gonna see how that is. So just come on. I don't know. Y'all already know my videos. It could be crazy, funny. I don't know. Just come on. I don't know. All right. All right. So how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. Good. Anything interesting?
Work.
Work.
Always
What the fuck?
Oh, look at the star of the show, y'all. Introduce yourself.
What's up?
Dior. Hey, if y'all wanna know where I got that from, y'all need to check out my last video. Boom. It's gonna be right there. Link in the description. All my recent videos are always gonna be in the link in the description. Alright. So yeah, so how your day was? Anything interesting?
I got another client for tomorrow.
Client, what you do?
I do hair.
Her, she does hair. Okay, so what you do? Braid? Shout your stuff out. Come on.
I do color.
Hey, watching.
I do cut. I do color. I do cut. I also do tinsel installation for people who like tinsel. I don't do men's cut. It's something I unfortunately was not able to learn during school because my teacher was a bitch. But I am currently finding an apprentice to learn how to braid under. So once I start learning, y'all start hitting me up and I'll put some work out there.
Alright, bet. And we're gonna put her tag right there, y'all, on the screen. Y'all gonna see it right here. Make sure y'all follow, whatever. Show us some love. Alright, anybody interesting? Anything interesting?
I sold a screen protector because I sell phones. I
Okay,
worked
cool.
at the Cricket store in San
You get commission?
Yes.
Alright, y'all. If you go everybody go open a clicker line. Go hit her up. Yeah, get her commission up. Yeah, go support.
Deals there, but it was kind of crazy. It's too on there too much, so I had to put gloves on to not get cut by it because it's just stuck, so it was breaking. And that was cool. So it was really interesting.
Dude, I've had a piece of screen protector get stuck in my eye.
Yep.
And fucking cut me. I was like, what the? I was in a science class too. I was like, eyewash, get this shit out.
It sounds like some Final Destination stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
Not for real.
Like the
Horror stuff.
Destination.
I ain't gonna lie, I check out Final Destination. Been to horror movies and thrillers and stuff like that. That's really a childhood.
Really good
I ain't gonna lie, that's really a childhood. I ain't gonna lie.
Favorites.
Alright, y'all, but let's cut the bullshit. Let's get down to this topic. Society norms. So let's be real with yourselves. Be honest with yourselves. How do y'all feel about our society? Everybody go one at a time. So I guess we go. Who wants to talk first?
Jack can go first.
I'll go first. How do I feel about society? I think it is constantly changing. Constantly. Like society, I feel, has been in this limbo era where you either want to be progressive or non-progressive, or you want to be conservative or non-conservative, and just, I feel like back then society did have like a certain category that it used to land in. It was very, I think, easily accessible, but I feel like now it's just constantly changing with, you know, social media. There's new professions out there. There's a breaking of just like certain generational things that are happening, you know. So I think it's a good thing that society has just been constantly changing in general. We haven't really been categorized under one. So I feel like unity thing. I feel like it's just been constantly changing lately. It's a lot of change to get used to too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's things today that I like didn't see in my childhood, and I'm like, huh? I feel like the old person sometimes.
Oh, definitely, for real. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to like, society is definitely different from when I was a kid. I'm an 04 baby, so like I grew up with like, you know, the old Barbie movies, like, and of course that was when like Nick Jr. started. I grew up with like the new like Barbie movies. That was when like, what was it, Pet Shop? Like Pet Shop? Yes, Little Pet Shop was still a thing. Like My Little Pony, like everything was very much so different. I think that was the time where like Nick Jr. started coming out with like their newer stuff.
Nah, for real, that's supposed to be hard.
Like we had like Team Mizumi was just not coming out, and I was like, but like to be honest with you, like today's society, I don't know. I feel like it's like mixed. Like we're still having problems that we were having back in like 2010, and like we're still having like the same discussions. I feel like that you see on the news. But like, what are y'all actually doing to like fix that? But I do agree with what you said with like things changing. Like some things are changing, and some of them are good. Like I like good change, but I will say one thing that I don't like about it's weird because I'm a person that struggles with change. Like I'm like a adjustment disorder, so it's like I have an issue adjusting to it. But like some of it's really good. Some of it's like really good. One thing I will say I do not fucking like is that they changed iPhone chargers a lot. Like the iPhone.
Yeah, but isn't a new one like an Android now?
No,
Yeah.
look, I have the 15. You have to have a Type C 3 charger.
Yeah, it's an Android now.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
what the fuck?
That's really some. Did it come with a charger though?
It didn't come with the charger. I had to go.
So you gotta go find, and it's hard to find a double-ended one like that.
Well, I already had an iPad.
Apple.
The iPad was Type C, and I was like,
Apple. We finna sue y'all. Y'all really trying to get over, and then y'all ain't doing nothing but making the phone slimmer and more breakable and making us like.
I've dropped this phone so many times, and I'm surprised. I fell asleep with it, and I
No, I ain't gonna lie, drop that phone to me. I don't know. Hold on. That's not gonna sound. Hold on. It's
No, but like some of the change is good. I like some of the change, but some of that stuff that we've been talking about for like the past 10 to 15 years, it's still there. Like, what are you doing to change that? Like, what are you doing to like improve on that?
There's some change there. So maybe society isn't always changing.
But I'll say, with this new generation, kids
Like,
are fucking
yeah,
mean.
like,
Kids are mean as shit.
Yeah, because they grown. It's because they been on them phones.
No, you want to know something? My little brother, he turned 7 this year. My grandparents bought him an Xbox. He has a Nintendo Switch. He has an iPad. I'm like, he's fucking 7 years old. You know what I had at 7? Barbie dolls and a Barbie dream house. That's what I had.
No, this is what we had at 7. We had outside.
Yes, we were outside.
I was a bike neighborhood kid.
I was a skateboarder. I
skateboarded.
skateboarded and I played football. But it's like, it's crazy. Like, it's insane. Like, I hear like 3rd graders cussing each other out. I hear 4th graders talking about how they want to fight each other. I'm like, yo, when I was 3, I was talking about how this little girl was stealing this little boy crush I had, and that was it. Or
Wait, that sounds familiar. What's a boy crush?
a boy crush is where you have like a little crush on like a little boy that's in your grade. Or
That sounds familiar, like some lingo that we had.
Yeah, or like, because like when I was growing up, it was like, oh, like, did you hear about this new movie? Have you seen the new Disney movie? Like,
Yeah.
like
Y'all be talking about some little
Crazy
stuff.
yeah, like
I
this
don't be
crazy.
lying, y'all, but
So like, I think one thing you could say is like a social norm used to be like, thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
how do y'all
This
feel
or-
about say technology
Technology?
with the younger generation? And just, how do you think do you think it's developing too fast?
Way too
Like,
fast.
what do you think?
You can go first.
No, you first.
Me? Okay. Honestly, because I didn't grow up on a phone or anything. I grew up with the TV and that was it. But growing up and witnessing my younger siblings go through this like craziness is insane. And I feel like my parents just bought them iPads because they don't want to interact with them. Like, these kids want to play. These kids want to go and do something. You don't want to do that with them. You just give them an iPad and have them do their own thing. And like, with my little sister, she is glued to that thing. Like, if I take it away from her, she's like, give me my iPad, give me my iPad. She's 4. Like, what 4? What 4? And my little brother, kid you not, he be watching the most inappropriate stuff on YouTube. Like, he'll be like, these nuts. I'm like, you're 7. You're 7. Why are you saying that?
Oh my.
7, and he has the most outrageous attitude ever. Like, he's like, I kid you not, he was, my sister and him got into it, and he was like, don't start acting like mom out there, you're all high and mighty, you just talk. And I was like, and I came down for the weekend, I was like, who?
I came down. I think let me go back to Ricky. Hold on, what?
I was like, what you say? I looked at him, I was like, boy, what you say? And he was like, don't act like you're part of this conversation. You only come down once every weekend. I was like, you're 7. You're 7 and you're talking to me like that. Someone who's 18 and changed your diapers, boy, watch out. I'll whoop your ass. I don't even care. I'll get permission from Troy. And Troy, I'll give you something to cry about. Don't even with me. This boy, he would
I would just be like,
he would roast the fuck out of all of us. Something so dead ass.
technology is like changing way too fast. But then again, like human race has advanced so far. I always think about this thing that like if you took somebody from the 60s and put them in today's world, they would have absolute culture shock. They would go crazy.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't have understood that there was gonna be.
It's like your grandparents.
Or
or
let's say somebody who's been in prison.
Yeah, that's true.
Because my mom, she left in 2006, and then they didn't come out until 2013, 2014. We had iPhones then. She was used to having a flip phone. Now she's having an iPhone. There's brand new cars. Like, there's different things with, like, technology. I feel like it's different culture shock. Because I remember my mom came up to me because I knew more how to work with phone. Because I was a little bit older. She was like, how do you do this? I'm like, oh, you do this, this, and that. And she was like, how do you know this? I'm like, because I was in prison. But, like...
No, I always talk. I had
Who
that.
raised you?
Oh, my grandparents did. My grandmother and my grandfather, they work for the fire department. They actually live up here. Love them to death. They taught me to always be respectful of people. Even if those people aren't going to show you respect, you still be the bigger person. You show respect to those people. You always lend out a helping hand, and you gotta pick and choose your battles. Like, if you know that this fight ain't going nowhere, just pick and choose. No, they were born in like the 50s and 60s, so that was when like what is it called? Like the Separation Act was going on and whatnot, and they were from Louisiana too. So Louisiana, imagine that. And like it was wild for them. I'll definitely say my grandmother, she'll sometimes be like, she's up to date with like technology, but she'll be like, what are you doing with this? Like, how the fuck do you do that? I'm like, Grandma, I love you, but there's just some things that I wish you like. My other grandmother, the one who's she'll be like, what's up, dogs? Like, I'm like,
What?
no,
Dogs is crazy.
No,
I'm like, no, Grady, like, what?
I'm like, no. But I will say there are some people who don't necessarily know what to do with technology, and they're growing up with it. Like, there was this boy that I became friends with, and I was like, yeah, of course, but the OFC, and he was like, what does that mean? I'm like, of course, and I had to spell it out. He's like, oh, and he was like, what's LOL? I'm like, laugh out loud.
Yeah, the abbreviation is good.
And he was like,
do you see what she means by like people not understanding technology? Like working at a phone store, I've seen the craziest stuff. Like, just from people having their phones on Do Not Disturb and then, like, wondering why they're not getting phone calls. And
What
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
Okay, you know, there's the Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, because you're so much up to
So
speed.
just as far as, like, kids, how you say they're bad, I see parents take their kids up to get cell phones with phone lines.
What?
And they really
fucking
just
age.
come in here, yeah, and even younger. I think the youngest I've ever sold a device to was maybe like 3.
Are you serious? Wait,
Oh my god!
So, yes.
what kind of iPhone?
It was the iPhone SE at the time, just because it was like the smallest
Yeah.
and the most.
Yeah,
I got that shit when I was in middle school. That's crazy. I got my first phone when I was in middle school, and it was the
Right.
iPhone 5 SE.
Hold on. We're not gonna go over the fact that somebody ain't just buy a 3-year-old. Baby, you just finished learning how to talk, walk, and
potty
go to
train.
potty train.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then we is in trouble. I'm scared.
You know what's a
How do you feel about society? Do you feel like it's changing, or the technology? Yeah, do you think it's changing?
Is it good or
too fast?
bad?
I feel like parents don't be giving their kids like, I mean, they don't like give their, what am I looking for? Put restrictions on their kids' social media. Like, they don't monitor their social media usage, monitor their screen time at all. And I feel like I just don't like it. It's not good at all.
It's not good. I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I had learned in class. It was like basically saying like nowadays they just give them iPads because like they be so busy working and stuff. They don't. People, if you think about it, parents don't really spend a lot of time with their kids. They just go to work, drop them off at school early in the morning, get off of work, pick them up, and then on top of that, when they get home, what they doing on an iPad,
and then they
The parents are on their phone themselves.
Exactly.
That's true.
Like
So
they're just sitting there like this, and the kid is actually wanting attention, and it's like they put
You know what's
they
crazy?
treat their kid like they're
Lack
a
of
fucking
attention.
puppy.
Yes.
Like they're like, go get on my face, go do something, and they're
That's-
like this the whole time. And all they do is make sure they give them dinner and they put them in the bed. They don't make sure they bed.
For real.
Because they be so tired from work and whatever.
Yeah, like-
but that's not their fault. They asked to be
They
here.
worry about their own.
They asked to be here. The
Like-
fuck?
I will say, as somebody who's the oldest out of 4, like I'm the what the fuck? Anyway, I'm the oldest out of 4. I just turned 19, and the youngest is 4. Kid you not, like I would be in my room doing homework, and I would come down to get me like a snack or a water. What's my stepdad doing? Playing video games. What's my mom doing? Laying on the couch asleep. What are my siblings doing? They're wanting to like play and do things, but they're like, no, leave me alone. Like go do
Are
something.
you not reading your family?
And then they were like, no, they legit would text me. They would legit text me.
This is what y'all did to her. That is what it fucking means.
No, go on, bitch. Go
They were
on.
like, they would text me, they're like, hey, come play with your siblings. I'm like, why the fuck don't you do it? And he was like, well, I'm making dinner and then I gotta play video games. I'm like, video games
Yeah,
are important. I'm like dinner's important, like I understand that. But like, play with your kid, like you do nothing.
Next topic is we're gonna talk about college. So I'm gonna ask y'all is just about like basically how do y'all feel about like society? Do you think society pushes college or education, or do y'all feel like there's other ways to like go around that? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that's the only way you can make it, or what's your thoughts and opinions on that?
I do believe that society pressure, like, I think it's 2. I feel like they pressure you to go to school, 1. Not only do they pressure you to go to school, they pressure you to like finish 4 years. Like, you need to have this in 4 years. Like, no ifs, ands, buts, or ors. You're gonna get this in 4 years as soon as you get out of high school. And I think that's a very big like pressure push to put, because by the time we're 18, we're still babies. Like we are not mentally mature, I feel sometimes, to take on the world as such a big responsibility as coming to college. But I also do think that they don't push it enough, because there is kind of like a lack of enrollment when it comes to the education of our youth today. I feel like, not that social media is a bad thing. I feel like if you have the twang, like the zip, to do social media, to influence people. It takes a lot to influence people in general. So not that that shouldn't be a setup, but I do feel like sometimes society eventually will lack in having, you know, construction workers, maybe bankers. Every day I think jobs that people do get set up when they do get a higher education, I feel like there will be a lack because not a lot of people want to go. And I think COVID did that. I think COVID really, some people are like, you know, I can work from home. I don't have to go to school, like, to further my education, to like keep working for this company.
Made y'all lazy.
Like that.
Made y'all lazy.
And I just feel like they don't push it enough, but I feel like they also push it. But when they push it, it's so pressurized. It's too much. Because personally, I came to Sam when I was 18, and I left home. I like left my whole family home. So to come out here, it was just such a big responsibility to still go to class, to change my own personal routine, like go from seeing my family and then not seeing them. That's like a big pressure to put on someone. You grow up with your family your whole life, and then at 18, you go. Which some people like it. Like, I was glad that I left, but at the same time, I did face challenges where I was like, oh my God, I don't know how people do this. Because they just come out here and they, like, it's a whole new world in a way. And I feel like that can change a lot of people's lanes in life. You know, some people come out to college and they're like, you know what, college is not for me. Some people come out here and they're like, you know what, I came to college for this, but now I think I want to do this, which now I have to understand it's going to take me longer.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to finish in those 4 years. And I only take that from experience because, like, I did change my major. I was like 2 years in, and I wanted to change what I wanted to do because I grew up in an environment where they were like, you have to go to college for this, and you have to accomplish to do this for college, and you have to finish in 4 years. You cannot, and you know, it changed the trajectory of my life from having to, now I'm like in college for almost 5 years because I'm completing a degree that I like ended up switching after 2 years in, and it was just a different kind of experience, and it was like something my parents had to accept when they were so set on me, you're gonna finish this and you're gonna be done, and they like expected me to be home by a certain time, you know, and it's like 2023, I graduated in 2018, and they're like, you know, you've been there for a while, like you should have graduated by now. And I don't think they understand that, you know, college is not easy.
College is not, first of all, not to interrupt you, college is not 4 years. Don't let nobody fool you.
Right.
College
Yeah, college is not 4 years.
Because
Depending on what degree you want, it's not 4 years.
Because it's really, if it's 4 years, you have to take 15 hours a semester, and you gotta take summer classes.
Right.
Yeah. That's what's gonna make it 4 years for you. Mm-hmm. And I ain't never did that. And I'm right along with you, girl. I graduated in 2018 too.
Right.
But I didn't go to college until I was 20.
Okay.
So like when I first came out here, I was 20 years old. So like,
that's awesome.
I feel like for me, it was good like that because even though 2 years doesn't seem like a long time, it really is as far as how much you mature and like the habits you pick up like in adulthood and how it like transfers over to not only like to you being adulthood at home, but then you're in adulthood by yourself. Like when you first leave college, you never get to experience adulthood with your parents, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I got to experience adulthood, but I was still with my parents. Like, 'cause my parents ain't no helicopter parents, they cool as fuck.
Right.
So I got to experience adulthood, but I still live with my parents. So I felt like that was good for me because like once I got out here, not saying that I'm like the best student ever, but I do think that it does help me. It helped me be more responsible and like just to have that time to like grow and mature and
That's such a
and
good
like
support system
go
to
through
have.
go through different shit like with my family and like friends from back home. Then like be in a strange place with people I don't know and like cause it's a lot and how I grew up, I just knew it wouldn't work for me because I was super, I wouldn't say I was sheltered, but I'm super like close with my parents.
Yeah.
Like, and they low-key kind of spoiled me my whole life. So, I just felt like I wasn't ready to just leave home, leave the nest just yet. Because I knew I would like be back, and I just wouldn't really have like the fight in me to stay out here and do this shit by myself. Because this college, you do that shit by yourself. Like your parents help you, like when they like help you like with finances and stuff. Like yes, and as college students, we are grateful for that. But like we doing this shit by our fucking selves. Like, and it's not hard. It's not easy. It's hard.
Like I don't know why I'm having like I don't know. For me, it's like okay. I don't know. I look at it as like, cause I don't know, cause maybe it also depends on your degree. Number one, it depends on your degree. I have a CJ degree. I feel like that's a pretty easy degree to get. If you're interested, you have to have the heart, of course. You can't just, but I have the heart for it. But it's just that my basic classes were easy. I only have to do one math class, statistics.
Wait, so
it's something.
I know somebody who's struggling with statistics like this. Stop it.
Some people. I know a lot. But yeah, and I don't lie, and that does have to do with the professors. Because let me tell you something. I learned the same statistics I learned in high school was the same statistics I learned here. I couldn't even relearn it because at least your brain after I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, so
how you forget it?
Fried.
But you know what I'm saying, like. When I relearned it here, I remember some stuff clicked, but the way he teach, I couldn't even really. I wish I would have kept my old notes from high school. Do you know what I'm saying? So I really could have got a A, really, because I really just learned it when I was in high school. But it's really also about the teaching, and people have different learning styles, and that all that plays a role into it.
I will say I am first generation in my family going to college. Like yes, my aunts went to college, but like. My grandparents, they went, never finished. My mom, she never went. My dad never went. But here's the thing, I graduated high school with my cosmetology license. Like, I wasn't, and to tap back into, like, what you were saying, like, I wasn't pressured into going to college. Like, it wasn't a thing. It's not something my family's big on. Like, it's our choice of what we want to do. But, when I told my family I wanted to go to college, they were like, are you sure? Like, you're going to graduate with a cosmetology license. Like, you don't need to go to college. Like, you can just go and work right off the bat. I'm like, yeah, but I have dreams and I have ambitions. So, as a cosmetology student, or as a cosmetologist, I want to be able to learn how to run my own business. I want to learn how to manage my money. And I want to learn how to treat other people with respect that I'm going to have as coworkers, and if I'm going to be their boss. And on top of that, I want to learn how to make my own hair products. So I need that extra bit of education to be able to do that. Now, I will say college, since being here, it's been fun. Like, I've met some great people. Some of the classes are great. Some of them are not. I will admit that. Some of them are extremely fucking hard. But, and my major is entrepreneurship. It's another form of business. So, but it's definitely an experience. Now, I will say, like, a lot of people had a lot of doubt in me. They're like, you sure you want to do this? Because if you don't, we're not going to judge you for it. And part of me was like, the fact that y'all already have such doubt in me in somewhat way, I guess the way I see it, it was like, I want to prove them wrong, that I can do this, that I can go through these 4 years to get a business degree. Now, I will admit, like, 2 weeks ago, I was having some serious doubts, like, I don't know why I decided to come to college. Like, I could be out here right now apprenticing under getting hair extensions done, and I could be doing that. I could apprentice under someone for $100 a week and learn and be making like almost thousands of dollars installing extensions and coloring and cutting them. And I could definitely be doing that. But like, would I change what I've done? No, I wouldn't. But like, is it an experience? I would say, yeah. If you want that experience, you want to further your education, you have dreams and passion, and you know you have to go to college to do that shit. But if you feel like you're gonna be okay, and that you don't need that further education, and you feel like you're gonna make it, and that you're in a strong, right mindset, then do what you want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I feel like will make me to be a better businesswoman and a better cosmetologist. And I gotta be grateful that my parents weren't so like pressure on me, like they weren't pushing for it. Like I've just been told that we're so proud of you. Like we didn't think you were gonna go. We didn't think you were actually gonna go through it. I'm like, shit. Now I will say I have thought about maybe changing to just an associate's degree, just because I feel like the pressure is starting to hit me a little bit. Like shit's hitting the fan at the
Well,
moment.
give yourself some credit because business
Yeah,
school is not for the weak.
Yeah,
Business school is not for the weak. It is one of the
That's what
hardest
I-
things
yeah,
I
that's
think
what I heard.
I've ever had to do. Like you say, we teach ourselves. I have to read material that just teaches
Oh,
me
so
how to
you a
read the
business
class.
degree?
Yes, I am a business management student, and I'm in my fourth year. So I'm like,
I wanted to piggyback off of what you said at the very beginning, like the fact that you graduated from cosmetology when we're talking about the society in college, because here in America, college is a fucking scam. All they want is money. And let me finish. Like, let me finish. Because in other countries, okay, you see how she said she graduated with a cosmetology degree? Back in the day, you used to could do that. Like they had welding at high school and electrician and plumber and all those different trades and stuff. When you were in high school, so by the time you graduated, you could get a job when you graduate. And in other countries, like if we all were in high school in London or fucking in the UK somewhere, like whenever they go to high school, they're already going to trade school. It's not like just, oh, we're gonna keep taking algebra and fucking geometry.
no.
Shit we don't need until we're in the 12th grade. Like they set you up to be ready to go out in the world.
That is
Exactly.
another good fact. Because here's the thing. Like, this is one thing that I feel like people are fucking, like, why the fuck don't people teach us in high school how to become somewhat of young adults for people who aren't going to college? Like, we don't know how to do taxes. We don't know how to pay, well, some people may know how to pay a car note. That's you, congratulations. I fucking don't, because I don't drive. Like, some people know how to pay taxes already. Some people know how to put down, like, payments for shit. Some people know how to do all these things adults do. I'm gonna be lying to you, I don't know how to file for taxes. And on top of that, I haven't even registered to vote.
You gotta figure all that shit out. You gotta figure all that shit out.
That's the hardest thing. Hold on. So let me speak on this real quick. So basically it's like society has basically, since I guess we could all agree upon this, is that society has basically they've been basically teaching us stuff that we know that we're not gonna actually use. But it's also nice to have some type of, literacy, of course, like reading, writing, of course.
My question is, what the fuck are you gonna bring up? What the fuck in your job and career are you gonna bring up? Well, yeah, Abraham Lincoln was at a plane. He got shot in the back of his head. Like, where are you gonna use that in your job?
Add like actual stuff we're gonna need. Like they did like economics a little bit, but just how to like file taxes and how to vote, and they used to really like encourage like voting, because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie, I did have one teacher that did like tell us like make sure you guys vote, but that was not until my senior year. Well, they should like people could turn 18 in junior because the year be overlapping, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they should still be like letting us know. And also, I'm gonna hit on you real quick when you said about they're not really pushing when some students, because they be students like they don't even know about dual credits. They don't know about you can start college courses at your school if you talk to your counselor. And while you're in high school or whatever, and you can get ahead if that's something that you want to do. And I like how y'all all agreed upon how like it should be your choice. Whatever that's, I feel like everybody got a purpose. You got a purpose. You watching this video got a purpose. You got a purpose. You got a purpose. You got a purpose. You got a purpose. And y'all see rappers and YouTubers like me. I need y'all to subscribe. Y'all saying this degree is to back up. Y'all a lot. I'm gonna try to make it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm y'all to make sure y'all subscribe right now.
Definitely subscribe.
For sure. But so yeah, like there's different routes and stuff like that. But me personally, I'm doing it. I like criminal justice. I just like it because one, I'm nosy and I really like the science behind it and stuff like that. I just wonder why people act or do certain things, what triggers that mindset in that rage moment, whatever the case may be, and stuff like that. So, but other than that, so I do have a heart for it. At the same time, that's why one of the things today while I'm doing the podcast is I do want to give people a voice. And then also, if I can make a name for myself, I do want to use that so I could be a model or something like that. Like, that's really my and I want to do what I want to do. I want to be on my time. I want to be my own boss. You feel me? Like, I ain't trying to clock the same thing with her. She want to do entrepreneurship. So that's why she went and did the extra steps so she can know the knowledge of the skill and all that. But yeah, so one thing I do say, so the tip to leave off on that topic is just watch your professor. Make sure you look on the college. Make sure, and it's okay to not know what you want to do. It is okay, because at the end of the day, like y'all said, y'all just 18, 17, going to college, whatever the case may be, and they just throw y'all to rules. But I do want to say though, I do feel like college for me is giving me like a stepping stone for real life. Even though it is putting me out there, because anyways, my parents, if I didn't go to college, like, I mean, I was gonna have to pay rent or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, I feel like, because at the end of the day, you have, you know, they have, you know, you got FAFSA, federal government that pay for your college, stuff like that. So it's like, they help pay for it or whatever, and it's just that you have a dorm, so you don't have to necessarily get a job. And some people have to stay off campus. Some people have to. So, but you know, like for me personally, like, you know, they give you food here, you got like a meal plan. So it gives you some steps, but yeah, of course you're gonna need extra money for parties and like extra food or whatever you wanna cook. Of course you might gonna have to get a job, and that's when the adulting is gonna come in. But I just feel like it does give you a stepping stone instead of you just going out in the real life, picking up a 9-to-5 job and just working and like living in some little apartment. You know what I mean? Right. Like I feel like that's the upside about it that I like for my experience.
I will say this though. So I personally, my job is doing hair, and I don't work at a fancy salon or whatever. Because fucking dry bar, one of my clients came up to me and she was like, it would have been $135 to get their hair blow dried. And I was like, blow dry it and stop. And I was like, no. Like, here's the thing. Haircut for me, $10.
The last and final topic for tonight is gonna be on drugs in our society.
Y'all smoke?
Yeah. Comment down below if you smoke. Comment down below if you drink or whatever you do, because drinking is also a drug. So if you drink, that is drug.
It's also an addiction.
So it's caffeine.
So, and caffeine.
Yeah.
And also all the other over-the-counter drugs. We just
gambling the drugs.
They're just norms.
Yeah, it's just society norms. Exactly. On which drug? Yeah, like y'all say, oh, alcohol is so cool to like drink alcohol and stuff like that, 21, whatever. But then when it comes to like smoking weed at a party or smoking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like still, I mean, depending on where you live, it's illegal, illegal, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But it's just the fact that, you know, just society, like just different norms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, who wanna get started?
Well, like, I mean, I feel like drugs are drugs. Like, every time that they put drugs in the black community to like
Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, like they say, like he put drugs in. They put drugs in the community and stuff to like keep the black community or like just like minorities down. Period. But I just feel like
that's the same thing with the alcohol stores too. Like, you know, like in the hood, like you probably see that one liquor store, but if you go to like a nice one, you don't just see a liquor store, you know?
It's a system, I think, that is brought down, like that purposely brings them down, because then you'll have
because it's about money. We live in a capitalist society, and so it's all about money. And also, people got a lot of shit going on, so they do drugs to cope.
Yeah, is it healthy coping mechanism or something? No, but it's like what they got available to them.
Yeah, and people be so quick to judge crackheads and drug heads and stuff, but like at the end of the day, that's a real person who has a real story, and I'm pretty sure they done been through some shit that make them like that. And it doesn't matter if they came from a bad home life or whatever, because I knew a guy who both his parents are doctors, and they have a nice big ass fucking house, and they've always had money, and he got addicted to pills like really bad, and that's because something else was going on. And money does not equal happiness. So like rich people be on drugs and stuff too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, coke is really so normalized in like LA, so like
that's like
just
they're always on coke. Coke is like a part of it.
Yeah, they're
just like I said, oh, it's a part of the. Y'all, just to let y'all know, when y'all snort coke, I hope y'all know y'all snorting rat poisoning. Anything that's white, that's what they doing, because they cutting it, by the way. They stepping on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm very knowledgeable. But yeah, y'all sniffing baking soda, motherfucking.
Oh,
Like you snorting. Like what else is white? Anything that's a white powder,
Smarties.
bro. See.
But drugs never gonna. To me, I feel like drugs ain't never gonna just stop.
Yeah, cause it's
They
we losing the war drugs.
They've been out for years, so.
We only catching 3% of the drugs that's coming into the U.S. Only 3%.
That's on real stats. Like that's
Yeah.
on real like. There's so much, the war on drugs, like I said, we are losing. There are so many drugs nowadays.
How
like,
accessible it is. Like you see kids, middle schoolers vaping and stuff like that.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
probably elementary. We don't know because they started at 12, 11.
Hey, so I keep reading stuff about like seeing kids eat gummies, like that are with weed, and they don't understand, you know. And I think like there's a responsible way of doing things. I don't judge people for what they do because, like she said, like those are real people. A lot of them are going through pain that they don't really talk about or express, and that's their coping mechanism. I do not recommend using drugs or any drug as a coping mechanism, but that's just what they know. That's what they're used to. You know, like he had the guy that you knew. His parents were doctors. He knew like one way to, you know, cure pain was like, you know, a prescription and something like that. I think that you're absolutely right too. It's just so accessible. There's so many things we don't know about kids, and I think there's like
And
responsibility.
then social media, like they see stuff, they see rap, and that's another thing. Like the music we listen to, we all consume it and stuff like that. Like just about them doing drugs and killing people. Like I don't know, but I am the problem. I do listen and do it. I don't lie, cause I don't lie. This I have this one teacher here that said that basically like, so say if we go talk about killing a black dude, another black dude, okay, that's cool, like everybody listen to it, right? But as soon as he say, oh, I shoot a gay dude, oh, everybody low, cancel him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just crazy how society feeds that it's okay to kill black, that's okay, but no, not gay. But you know, they still is, I ain't gonna lie, like shout out to the LGBTQ community, because like I know trans, they fighting for their rights in a lot of different states and stuff like that. And like shout out to y'all for real, like I support y'all like 100%.
Well, thank you.
Like, yeah,
I'm pansexual.
I was type shit. But yeah, like when people, cause like there's like people like you said that's really going through real life stuff for real, like you don't know how they cope. So.
But do I think some drugs are good for you? Yes. I do think that. I do think like when you have to get prescribed maybe Adderall or Xanax in a healthy dose, because those things can be abused. I think
like the one you're supposed to actually use like for depression and the one that you're supposed to use correctly, basically.
I have met like several people that it does benefit, like they do need those kinds of things, and without, you know, those certain prescriptions, they do need them. When it becomes an issue is when they become irresponsible, or they decide to, you know, sell them or give them to their friends, or that's an irresponsible thing. And as far as like when you get medication, you're told about everything that it does to you. You know the warning signs. You know what happens if you give it away. Things like that. And it's like, if you take the responsibility of signing for those things, like why are you being unresponsible by like?
I feel like parents also have a play in it, because if the child is under the parents' roof and at the same time they're not checking how many pills, they just, you know, you just take it. They're not checking their kids, making sure their kids not over wise and missing. They're not checking that. That's another thing.
I will say, some of you grew up with parents that both smoked and did shit. It's very like a surreal
Viewer discretion is advised.
thing, because my mom, she got put away for being on drugs. She legit got in a car accident and was charged for manslaughter because she killed someone. And it was like hard because I was only 3. I was 3 and my sister was like 1. Girl, it's fine.
How old was your mom?
She was in like her early 20s. She didn't come home until
she jumped me. It was jump driving thing.
She was driving while underneath the lunch. So it's like, to witness your parents go through it, like I gotta agree, like they definitely are some part of an influence. Now my dad, he supported me whatever I did. He always told me like, if you want to try something, go for it, but know your limit. But like, no, he legit told me, he's like, you try it, but I know my limit when it comes to certain things. I know like when to do this, when to do that. So like it's not a necessity for me. But I will say like when it comes to like kids and whatnot, it's a very scary thing. And on top of that, there was just a case like I think it was like 2 years ago. Someone from the Woodlands High School in my area, like they got on Xanax and whatnot, and they were in high school. Someone in Woodlands High School, it was a couple, she was on house arrest and he came over to hang out with her. They took something and it was laced with like fentanyl, and they both passed away, and her mom and her parole officer found her.
Wow.
And it was so heartbreaking to hear that. Like my teacher, her daughter is a crime scene investigator. She worked that crime scene. And it was hard hearing that kids our age is legit dying because shit is getting laced like that.
Right.
Like it's very difficult. And I will say, like my sister, she was a.
You know what's the crazy thing? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I was gonna like educate whoever watching whatever. But the thing with fentanyl, y'all, it's like even so. Say if I go through her purse, right? Say she has some fentanyl in there. Just by me going, not even touching whatever, the powder, it can knock you out, and you gonna you go OD quick. And I'm not even saying like, so say if whoever you buying from, whoever they getting it from, there's fentanyl with the marijuana, whatever, and the dust. So you know what I'm saying? Gets on it. That's how the kids and the pills, and it can be accidentally. You know, you're touching it. It can be accidentally. You know what I'm saying? They can be accidentally doing it. That's another thing is people also trying to be the new big thing. Let's try to. Oh, they out the other person. Well, the crackhead said it's good, so we good. Let's go put it on the street.
And it's cheap.
Yeah, that's
They're
another
like, oh my
thing.
god, it's $3. Okay, sign me up. Like, what?
No, like.
And some people who are addicts, they see like they buy one thing, but then once the deal say, oh, I'm out of that, but I got this right here.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get you same way, and they go for it, and it's just like
It's
dang,
hard.
It's a war on drugs. It's hard.
Cause here is like
Money scheme, like you said.
Yeah.
Money scheme. Like everybody's out for money.
Yeah.
Nobody care about each other's lives no more. Like that shit's sick as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the tie back with the coping, the tie back into
Viewer discretion is advised.
it. When I lost my dad, I was still vaping at the time and whatnot. And I was trying to quit, and they were like offering it to me, like, if you want, we know you vape, we can go get you one. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna need one, like, I'm gonna be okay. As soon as I found out that the rest of my dad's organs were failing and that he had at least had a week to live, I was like, give me that shit right now. And I was sitting there hitting it nonstop. I was crying. I was sitting there wrapping Christmas gifts, and I was fucking just like hitting it. And I was.
He had alcoholism?
Huh? He died of alcoholism. It was early 2020. Now my dad was a fucking clean freak. He would take 3-hour showers, and I came to visit them, and I was like, Grandma, he's not showering, and she was like, yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, if you noticed it, why did you do nothing? Well, come to find out, he was jaundiced. He was yellow because his liver and kidneys were failing. Took him to the hospital. He got out. He was fine. Went back in later because he wasn't stopping. Found out after I turned 16, he stopped walking completely.
Oh my
Like they had to put him in a wheelchair.
Like how old was he? If you want to like 50 or like was he like younger?
He was 39.
Well,
He was young.
Yeah.
Was he like just drinking a lot?
It was just because he
was
was drinking every single day. You know,
Oh,
you know,
well, I didn't know because like I'm trying to educate myself on
you know,
the thing,
ocean, you know, ocean water, like the brand, like you got your cran apple, you got your cran watermelon, you got your cran grape. He would take those and put them in the hospital cups like you get from Methodist,
oh my goodness.
and mix alcohol with them. And he actually showed me how to like mix like the different cran apples together, and I was obviously mine didn't have alcohol in it, but like it was heartbreaking. I remember going to visit him for the first time, and he was loopy as shit, and I was sitting there crying, and he was like, what's wrong, Katie Bug? Like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, nothing, Dad. I'm just really happy to see you. I was only there for 5 minutes and I left, and it was a 30-minute drive.
Wow.
And it was so heartbreaking, and I was near his, he came home for hospice, and I sat right next to him holding his hand.
Traumatizing as well. Like,
I was only
it's a
16.
lot.
I was 16 years old when it happened, and like it sucked. And so I vaped to cope with it. Like vaping was it. And I remember looking at myself in the bathroom after I found out that he had like a week to live. Like, I looked at myself, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I shouldn't be hitting this, I should be going to family members, but like, you know, sometimes family members can't take away like that certain feeling. And so it was definitely a hard experience. Like, it was so difficult, because my dad was my rock. He was the parent that was there when my mom was away. So it was definitely a very hard thing. And like, this is his hat, like I'm wearing his necklace right now, I got some of his jewelry on, just because I like representing my dad, and I have a tattoo in memory of him. Like, this is his name is Brandon Apple, and his birthday's in Roman numerals. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but to continue on to the other thing, like,
I just want to validate you, like, you have every right to, like, feel the way you feel during that. I just want to, like, congratulate you for being strong to even say that, like, that's...
It's definitely hard. It was hard at first talking to people about it. It was definitely hard to talk to people about it. And as I've gotten, like, that was what, like 3 years ago? Like, December 10th is gonna be 3 years. And it's gonna be a little hard.
It's hard. No, it's hard. Like, rest in peace to the people we've lost who are on drugs.
Yeah.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I also lost my brother to the war on drugs. It was very just so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was laced. I just know he was going through a different kind of pain. You know,
Yeah.
my dad was going through a different kind of pain that he couldn't speak about. And I was really young when that happened to me. I was 13, and it's been 10 years since his death. So like, there's a huge outlook to look at to move forward and
Like, we're grieving.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but I still want to, like, recognize that, like, just strong.
Because I feel like, I will say this though, like, the year prior, before like COVID, because he died COVID year, so a lot of people thought it was from COVID. I was like, no, so alcoholism
is serious.
It's a very serious thing. Like,
And I was want to mention, like, how, just talking about alcoholism, it's like the number one thing that, it's like the withdrawals with alcohol is so bad. It's like the worst.
yeah.
It's worse than any drug, but it's still legal.
Right.
And you can go I can go get a beer right now.
And you can actually kill somebody off alcohol, but when you speak, you don't hear people driving off weed and killing somebody, but alcohol, you hear it all the time.
You hear drunk driving a lot more than you hear someone being high. And take it from somebody who's witnessed their own dad being in the hospital. His skin was yellow. His organs were failing. And get this, for him to have a transplant, he had to be sober for 6 months and then be put on a waiting list. So if you think it's worth it to be drinking all fucking day, it's not. Don't do it.
His eyes were yellow.
It's not. I'm being so dead ass. Because he was only 39 and I was 16.
That's young.
Like, that's a young, as someone who, like, don't do it. I don't recommend doing it. You want to drink and have a party, that's fine. But if you're drinking on a day, if you're abusing it, don't fucking do it.
That's alcohol. They go for all drugs.
Like, please get some help.
And yes, that's another thing. Like, so I'm gonna end it on a good note. Is saying, like, just let you know, I encourage therapy. Like, even though this case, if you just want somebody to talk to, even just if you want somebody to talk to, there's also group therapy. And also, even check out what y'all schools, they should have counseling centers and stuff like that. And you know, my DMs are always open. I'm always listening ear. As you guys see, I'm non-judgmental. I'm open-minded as heck.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Please do. Like, you are not alone in this. Like, you are not alone. There's probably someone out there in the world doing the same thing as you. But, like, you're not alone in this. You're not fighting this battle alone. We got you. We support you. She's putting my tag in the chat for my hair, but if you just want somebody to talk to, like, hit me up and whatnot. Like, it's all good. Like, we support you. Like, you're okay. You're gonna be good. We got you.
It's not for
But, like,
the pain you are suffering is not worth your life.
yeah.
I'll tell you that. Your life is far more worth than the pain that you're going through.
We're so fucking inspirational. Alright, y'all, that'll be the end of tonight's podcast. I know it's super long. I really hope you guys stay to this. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah,